Cancel culture comes for Cuomo. In this video, we're going to take a look at the latest accusations that keep piling on the governor. We're going to explore why the media hasn't covered up for Cuomo the way they've done so for Hunter Biden, and why it is that proponents of cancel culture will always ultimately end up canceling themselves. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Wonderful to be with you. As always, we're here to give you each and every single day conservative hope in the midst of these turbulent and trying times, helping you to think better so you can feel better. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. We would love to have you as a regular part of this channel. We've got some alt tech links down below for you Rumble fans. Make sure to click on that link below to subscribe to our new Rumble channel and help us get to 100,000 subscribers there. And for you Parler fans, make sure to click on the link below and subscribe to my Parler channel. And let's together support the return of this wonderful alt tech site. Before we begin, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's our good friends over at Virtual Shield. Gang, if you're not using what's called a VPN or virtual private network on your desktop, tablet, or mobile device while browsing the internet, then you really are exposing yourself to a lot of potential danger. But protecting yourself online simply has never been easier. And to make it even better, Virtual Shield is offering our audience, get this, 50% off all VPN plans and all premium add-ons. So do not wait. This is a limited time offer. Click on that link in the description below and sign up for a free 30-day trial to Virtual Shield VPN today. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. It certainly looks like cancel culture has come for the New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. In a Wall Street Journal exclusive, it's been confirmed that top advisors to Cuomo influenced state health officials to remove data from a public report that showed coronavirus-related deaths in New York nursing homes had indeed exceeded numbers previously acknowledged by the administration. The state's reported tally of nearly 6,500 nursing home deaths was indeed significantly lower than the actual nursing home death toll, which state officials now place at more than 15,000 residents. That number, according to the Wall Street Journal, represents the number of deaths since March of 2020. Now, of course, Cuomo's defended his decision to send COVID-positive patients into nursing homes by saying that he was simply following federal guidelines and he did nothing wrong. It was all Trump's fault. But then several weeks back, the New York Times broke the story that New York Attorney General Letitia James, who is a Democrat, did admit that the State Department of Health deliberately underreported COVID-19 deaths in nursing homes by as much as 50%. And this is being confirmed by the Wall Street Journal's exclusive that was just released today, that 6,500 patients that were reported to have died in nursing homes pales in comparison to the actual amount that died, upwards of 15,000. Moreover, we're now learning that this data was hidden right when Cuomo's book on COVID leadership came out over the summer. So there appears to be some clear motivation on his part for the cover-up. As all of this is going on, the sexual harassment accusations continue to pile up. Things are so bad on that harassment end that Axios is coming out and saying that if the Democrats don't step up and get rid of this guy, they will never be able to live their hypocrisy down. Now, there are a lot of theories out there as to why Andrew Cuomo is getting 86th. Why is Cuomo being taken out of here? I mean, after all, he's a Democrat, and as a leftist Democrat, he has liberal privilege, right? He has a special left-wing immunity granted to him by the left-wing activists disguised as journalists in the mainstream media. We might call this media immunity the Hunter honor, in honor of Hunter Biden. As you know, this, of course, was and still is a major bombshell story about the Democratic candidate for president using his office for personal financial gain, as well as his son profiting off his father's exploits while seemingly living an utterly debauched lifestyle. And the fact that the media was doing everything they possibly could to bury that story was made all the worse when Twitter ended up locking the New York Post out of their Twitter platform for having broken the story on Hunter Biden, as well as the Trump campaign's account and press secretary Kayleigh McEnany's account for simply sharing the New York Post story on Hunter Biden. It was patently obvious that they were trying to hide the story. Even Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey had to admit that the company's censoring of these stories and locking of these accounts was totally unacceptable. But of course, he did absolutely nothing to fix it, since he intended to bury the story along with the rest of the mainstream media. And to a certain extent, the Hunter honor worked, for Biden at least. We have a poll that revealed that 1 in 6 Biden voters would not have voted for him if they knew the extent of the Hunter Biden scandal, which the media deliberately buried in the final weeks leading up to the election. So we have to ask, why, oh why, is the Hunter honor being revoked for Cuomo? Why are Cuomo's scandals getting all of this media attention when the mainstream media has demonstrated they have no problem ignoring bombshell stories when they make Democrats look bad? We can go another level, okay? They have to cover it, but they can gaslight it. I mean, that's what Geraldo Rivera is doing over at Fox News. Dan Bongino raked him through the coals for saying that, well, Cuomo's just a single old guy in a boring town, so what do you expect, right? So the media has a couple of options. They could ignore the story altogether, or they can gaslight it, like they did with the race riots over the summer and the imploding Democratic-dominated cities throughout our nation. I mean, like Cuomo's little brother Fredo said so profoundly, whoever said protests need to be peaceful? And yet, the media isn't doing any of these things. They're actively turning up the heat against Governor Cuomo big time. And you got to wonder why, given the dishonest tools readily available for the Marxist media. Now, one theory, of course, has been that the sexual harassment allegations are all an attempt to cover up the nursing home deaths, because if Cuomo goes down for that, a number of other Democratic governors are going to go down as well. However, the problem with that theory is that Cuomo's cover-up of the nursing home deaths keeps coming back to the front page. So if that were the purpose of the sexual assault allegations, it ain't working. Here's my theory in all of this. I don't think we have to look any farther than an obvious explanation here. Cancel culture always ultimately ends up canceling itself. Could it be that Cuomo is the latest case study in how the advocates of cancel culture ultimately end up canceling themselves? I think so. But before we get into it, as you can see, we got some brand new merch like this awesome t-shirt here. The best is yet to come, and it's a celebration of the launch of our brand new merch store, which you can check out by clicking on the link below. You're going to love the amazing selection we have of patriotic gear that celebrates Trump and all things nationalist, populist, and traditionalist. And to make sure to take advantage of our 10% off discount with code LAUNCH10, if you're an Insiders Club member, you get an even bigger discount. But this is a limited time offer. It expires today, Friday, the 5th. So don't wait. Click on that link below. Get your brand new Patriot gear at a super cool discount today. All right, what we've got to understand is that cancel culture operates by what cultural anthropologists call a taboo code, okay? So what's a taboo code? Well, a taboo code is how a society spots threats to their social order and gets rid of them. Taboo codes declare certain behaviors or actions or words to be offensive beyond measure and therefore worthy of being expelled from the community. And this, I believe, is how we have to understand the whole notion of political correctness. Political correctness is the taboo code of modern, liberal, leftist, globalist society. And as such, political correctness has one job and one job only. And that's to identify threats to a left-wing cultural Marxist social order and effectively neutralize those threats by marginalizing them with social stigma labels such as racist and bigot and sexist and homophobe, which have become absolutely the worst possible stigma any person could accrue in a cultural Marxist left-wing globalist world. Now, what's happened over the last few years, particularly during the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearings, when he was accused of rape by Christine Ford, but without any actual evidence, what happened over the last few years is that cancel culture has moved the goalpost for that excommunication. In other words, they've gone from stigmatizing sexual harassment to stigmatizing the accusation itself. Kavanaugh needed to be blocked from confirmation simply because he was accused. Evidence be damned. And so the taboo code widened to include the mere accusation of sexual misconduct. There's an actual term for this in the cultural anthropological literature. It's actually called over-sanctification. A society can over-sanctify itself. It can designate so many things as taboo that it ends up destroying itself. It ends up excommunicating so many of its members that the society begins to implode. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. Here's the key. The believe all women meme, in effect, rendered the allegation of sexual misconduct itself as taboo. It's not a question of whether Cuomo actually harassed the women. That goalpost is long gone. In their effort to oust Kavanaugh, leftist woke warriors actually turned the mere accusation. No evidence needed, none. All you need is a compelling testimony, as Chris Wallace at Fox would tell us. That's all you need. It's a very compelling testimony. Miss Ford did it. The accusation itself is the taboo, and therefore it's become the cause for cancellation, or excommunicatio for you John Wick fans. The mere accusation is enough for cancellation. Now, if that's your new standard, who's going to be immune from that? You see, leftist cancel culture will always ultimately cancel itself. So as I see it, there's really no way out of this one for Cuomo. It appears that the cancel culture that he was once such a great advocate for has now come to cancel him. Now, before you go, make sure to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. You definitely want to check out my latest video. I just uploaded it. It really is a pretty cool one. It's on how red states are revolting against Biden's transgender order. All his traditional families are surging worldwide, and I show the connection between those two. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.